My stepmom threw away my birthday cake. Little boy told a Hell's Angel. Then 150 bikers showed up. It was Connor's 9th birthday, but no balloons, no candles, no happy birthday song. Just silence, and the sound of his stepmother, Vanessa, slamming the front door after tossing his only gift into the trash, a small chocolate cake he'd secretly saved allowance for weeks to buy himself. Tears streaming down his cheeks, Connor ran, barefoot, heartbroken, down the quiet suburban street until he collapsed on a bench outside Joe's grocery. He clutched the tattered photo of his mom in his pocket, whispering, "I miss you." That's when he appeared. Blake wasn't what you'd expect from a Hell's Angel. Tall, leather vest covered in patches, beard thick, but his eyes? Soft, kind. He crouched beside Connor, voice low and steady. "Hey, little man, you okay?" Connor shook his head, too ashamed to speak, but Blake didn't push. He just sat beside him, opened a bag of chips, and offered half. "Hungry?" For the first time in months, someone saw him, really saw him. Vanessa had always warned Connor about those dangerous bikers, but in that moment, Blake felt safer than home ever had. The day before, Connor had watched from his bedroom window as Vanessa laughed with friends on the patio, sipping wine while he ate stale bread for dinner. His dad, a truck driver, was gone again, working double shifts to keep the family afloat, unaware that at home his son was drowning in silence. Connor's only comfort? A shoebox under his bed filled with his late mother's letters, a locket with her picture, and a dried daisy she'd tucked behind his ear on his last birthday with her. She'd died 2 years ago, but her love still warmed him like sunlight through winter glass. On his birthday morning, Connor woke early, hoping, praying that maybe today would be different. Maybe Vanessa would remember. Maybe Dad would call before noon. But the house stayed cold. No presents, no cake, no joy. When Dad finally called at 3 p.m., his voice rushed. "Sorry, buddy, big haul tonight. We'll celebrate next week, okay?" Before Connor could answer, Vanessa snatched the phone. "He's fine. Stop babying him." Then came the final blow. Connor had used his last $8 to buy a tiny birthday cake from the corner store, just enough for one slice, one candle, one wish. He placed it carefully on the kitchen table, lit the candle, and whispered, "I wish Mom was here." Vanessa walked in, sneered, and without a word, swoosh, dumped the whole thing into the garbage disposal. "Grow up," she snapped. "Birthdays are for babies." Something inside Connor shattered. He ran. And that's how he ended up on that bench, and how Blake found him. After their quiet talk, Blake gave Connor his number. "If you ever need someone, call me, day or night." Vanessa yanked Connor away moments later, scolding him for talking to strangers, but Blake watched them go and called his brothers. Because in the biker world, family isn't blood, it's loyalty, it's protection, it's showing up when no one else will. 2 days later, Connor sat alone on his porch, staring at the empty street, feeling invisible again, when the ground began to tremble. Vroom, vroom, vroom. One bike, then 10, then 50, then 150 roaring motorcycles rolled down his quiet street, headlights blazing like stars come to earth. At the front, Blake, helmet off, eyes locked on Connor. Neighbors poured onto their lawns. Vanessa froze in the doorway, pale with shock. The bikers parked in perfect formation. Not a word was spoken, until Blake stepped forward, knelt in front of Connor, and handed him a box. Inside, a massive 3-tiered chocolate cake with blue frosting that read, "Happy birthday, Connor, you matter." Behind him, the bikers raised their fists, not in anger, but in salute. "We heard you got your cake thrown away, so we brought you a new one, and 100 uncles who've got your back." Tears flooded Connor's eyes, but this time they were tears of wonder. That afternoon, the street transformed into a block party. Bikers grilled burgers, played music, and let Connor sit on a Harley like a king. They gave him a custom patch that read, "Little Brother, Protected."
Vanessa tried to intervene, but the local sheriff, who happened to be an old friend of the club, quietly warned her, "Those men don't play, and that boy, he's under their wing now." Word spread fast. Social services launched an investigation. Dad came home early, horrified by what he'd missed, and Connor, he finally felt safe. Months later, Connor still keeps that patch in his shoebox, right next to his mom's locket, because now he knows, even when the world feels dark, kindness can roar in on two wheels and change everything. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring hope to children like Connor around the world. Drop a comment below. Where are you watching from? And remember, sometimes angels don't have wings. They wear leather and ride Harleys. Thanks for watching.